So we missed our flight again. This is the second time we've missed our flight back home. This one hurts so much more than the first time. Right now I'm quite close to the airport. We've been staying in a hotel because we've missed our flight. There's a lot of traffic around me and I'm just here just reflecting on what has happened and what I've learned from missing our flight the second time. The first time it was just me, my wife and our eldest daughter. This time now it's me, my wife, and we've got 3 children, a 7-year-old, a 2-year-old and one that is just 11 months. And it's been very difficult looking after the children, waiting to find out what we're going to do. What I'm going to do is this. I'm just going to share the story, what happened, how we missed our flight, and what I've learned through this experience. So basically yesterday we was on our way home and we had to wake up really early. Just after 2 in the morning, my father and my brother, they were driving us to the airport. It takes about 1.5 hours to get there. So we get to the airport around about 5 o'clock in the morning and our flight leaves at 7, so we got about 2 hours. Now the queues at the airport were quite long. It took us about an hour to get through everything, all of the checking. We got about 1 hour before the flight leaves, before we have to get to the gate. And so we're like, okay, 1 hour, that's fine, let's just go. But the thing was that because we woke up so early, the children were still in their pajamas. And so my wife takes the 2 young daughters, our 2 young daughters, into the toilets to put on their clothes. Now you know how it is with children. If you're a parent, things always take longer than what they should take or what we think they will take. And so I'm waiting outside of the toilet with our young boy in the pushchair, and I'm like, come on, faster. It's taking some time. As I'm there waiting, you know, come on, getting a bit agitated, a man comes up to me, a random man comes up to me and says, you know, because this was a time now where we're in the place where there's loads of shops and there's people everywhere, there's hundreds of people going back and forth, and a random man just comes up to me and says that he heard on the loudspeaker that they had found, or that someone had left some baby stuff in the check-in point. And so because he seen me with a pushchair and a baby, he just thought that maybe it was, you know, me. Because my wife, she was the one taking care of the baby stuff, I didn't know. So I said, okay, thank you, I will look through the stuff and see if you have left anything. So I'm waiting for my wife to come. She comes out eventually. I'm like, okay, good. And I just asked my wife, like, did we leave the baby stuff? And she's like, yeah, we did, it's us. So I'm like, okay, because I'm faster, we've got 3 young kids, I'm like, let me go and run back and I'll go and pick them up and then we'll be on our way. I run back, I go to the place where we checked through. I said, someone told me that it was said on the loudspeaker that someone's left some baby stuff. That was us. Can we have them? And so the first person is like, I don't know about any baby stuff. They go and ask someone else and they're like, I don't know. And they ask someone else and we don't know. We have no idea. And I'm like, we was there just like 10 minutes ago and it was said on the loudspeaker, but no one knows. They send us to another place, to this office, you know, like lost and found. We go there and they're like, we ain't got anything. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, if it was said on the loudspeaker, someone must know. So the man from the lost and found, he goes back to the first place where we were to go and speak with them, and he said, you know, he told me to wait where I was outside of this office. So I'm waiting there and he's taking time, and I'm like, come on. I don't know, like about 10 minutes pass and Like, in that time, I'm just debating to go back, because I'm like, forget it, man, we got to get on a plane. During that time, my wife ends up coming to me where I was, because she's wondering what's going on, why is Albie taking so long. And so I tell my wife they can't find the stuff, and we're like, we need the stuff, really, you know, it's baby stuff, it's baby food, it's the baby bottle, it's the milk, like, we're gonna need these things on the plane. And so we're going back and forth, like, we need these things. In the end, I'm like, okay, Emma, time's going, where's your phone? Do you have your phone on you? Let me run to the gate with our oldest daughter, we'll get there first, and just say that you are on your way. My wife starts looking for her phone, and she's like, I can't find my phone. And I'm like, what do you mean you can't find your phone? And so she's going through all of the bags, trying to find the phone, can't find the phone, and she's like, you know what? Maybe it fell out of my pocket, because she had a pocket there at the front, and she was like, maybe when I was changing the kids, it just dropped out. And I'm like, you've lost your phone? This is the worst time to lose your phone. We got no baby food. And we're just like, oh, in the end, we're like, we ain't got time. So we just start running towards the gate now. It just so happens that our gate seemed to be the furthest gate away. We had to get a shuttle bus to the gate, and I'm running, I'm in front, and I get to the automatic doors, and I see this bus in front of me, doors are open, and as I get there, the doors close, and we miss the bus. So we have to wait for another bus, and I'm like, come on. Eventually another bus comes, we get on the bus. It just so happens our gate is the last gate, and we're panicking, we're running now, and I'm in front, and our gate is right at the very end, and I see that there's no one there, there's just 2 staff members, and I said, we're here, don't close. And the lady said, it's too late. The gate's closed. They've taken your stuff off of the plane. There's no way on the plane. And just that feeling, you've missed it. And my wife gets all teary. My eldest daughter begins to cry. I get emotional. And we're like, no! There must be another way. Have mercy. We've got 3 young kids here right now. We've been up since 2 in the morning with the kids. Please let us on. Please have mercy. We're a young family, please. And there was just no mercy. It's too late. You're not getting on. There's no discussion. At the same time, or just like 1 minute after we came, another lady comes, you know, also wanting to go on the same flight, and the same thing was said to her, it's too late, and she begins to cry like, please, there's got to be some way on the plane. And the staff are just saying, no way, it's way too late, the gate is closed, the plane is closed, you're not getting on. And that feeling of getting to a place where you want to get through, you want to get through a gate, there's a gate there, yeah? You want to get through the gate, and you're talking about going through the gate and the experience of being beyond the gate, but when you get to the gate, it's closed. There's no way through it. It's a horrible feeling. It's a horrible, horrible feeling. And so what have I learned through this? What have I learned? I've learned this thing, and it is this, that at that time when we found out that the baby food was missing, that was so important to us. It was so important for us to have the baby food and the baby bottle. Like, it was necessary, it was important, and we were willing to fight for it. Even my wife's mobile phone, like, we gotta get it. You know, it was necessary, it was important. But when we got to the gate, none of those things mattered. The baby food was irrelevant. We didn't care about baby food and baby bottle. The phone wasn't even a big issue. What the issue was, we didn't get through the gate. We're stuck here. And so the thing that was important at one stage, just 20 minutes ago, it was very important. Now it's no longer important. And this is how it is in life. There's so many things in life that we can feel like this is so important to me. I need these things. Like, these things are just everything to me. But when you get to the gate, like when you step over from this life into the next life, those things that are so important to you, they ain't gonna matter at all. They're not gonna count for anything. You're not gonna care about your cars and your clothes and what you own. You're not gonna care about it. All you're gonna care about is, did I get through that gate? Like, did I get into heaven? That's all you're gonna care about. Another thing that I learned was this man that tried to help me, you know, he had a good will, you know, a good heart. He wanted to help me, and I'm very grateful for that. At that time, when he told me, you know, that he heard that there was some baby food missing, I was like, wow, thank you for letting me know. Like, that's a real help in the here and now. It was a real help. But afterwards, when I got to the gate and I realized the gate was shut, let's be honest, I despised that help. That help actually stopped me from getting through the gate. Like, if he never had come, we would have made it to the gate because we wouldn't have even thought of it. And this is how it is in life. Many times people, they have a desire to help us. You know, they will say something good. It's good. It's not bad. It's good. Good advice, inspirational messages, you know, things that help us in the here and now. There's a lot of things going on right now that help us in the here and now. These are good for me right now. But the thing is this, they didn't help me. Like, it didn't help me when I got to the gate. The baby food, if we had gotten the baby food, it wouldn't have helped us when we got to the gate. It would have just helped us in that time right there, but not when we got to the gate. And so it is. You can receive a lot of help in your life, which will help you in the here and now, like today, but it's not going to help you when you get to the gate. It's not going to help you when you're on your deathbed and there is this separation between being with God and being without God. It's not going to help you there. The Bible says that you can gain the world but lose your soul. Like, we can have everything in the here and now, but you don't make it through the gate. You don't make it into the kingdom of God. You know, and Jesus, when he's talking about the last time, as in like the end of the world and his return, we read about this in Matthew chapter 25. He's talking about 10 virgins, and this is a parable. So he's given a picture of what it's going to be like before people meet God and before the end of the world. What is it going to be like? And he's sharing many things that we see today, you know, in society, in the world, and he's saying things that are going to happen in the future, and he's just given us an illustration. What is it going to be like? And he gives us this illustration of 10 virgins and their bridegroom, and they're all waiting to be married. And what happens is this: you have 5 wise and 5 foolish virgins, or brides to be. And basically, the 5 wise, they were prepared. They were ready to go to the gate. They had prepared themselves. They got through the check-in system and they were ready to go through the gate. The 5 foolish, they may have got through the check-in system, but they weren't ready to go through the gate. We read in verse 10, and while they went to buy, the bridegroom came, and those who were ready went in with him to the wedding, and the door was shut. Afterward, the other virgins came also, saying, Lord, Lord, open to us. But he answered and said, Assuredly I say to you, I do not know you. Watch therefore, for you know neither the day nor the hour in which the Son of Man is coming. So this is what happened. In that time, they needed a candle which was burning, and they needed oil to fill it up. Now, the 5 wise virgins, they were ready. They had all their stuff with them. They had all their luggage that they needed with them. The 5 foolish, they had forgotten something. There was something that they'd forgotten. And so what happened was, when it was time to go into the wedding, when it was time to get to the gate and through the gate, they weren't ready to go. They had to go back. They had to go back and get some oil. That was the problem, and that's what happened to us. We had to go back and get our stuff. We wasn't ready to go to the gate and through the gate. We had to go back because we had forgotten something. They'd forgotten something, the oil. You need to have your candle burning to get into the wedding. And so they went back, they got their stuff. By the time they got to the gate, too late. Too late. The gate was closed. The door was shut. That door that they were longing to go through, this is a picture of heaven. They were longing to get into heaven through the gates of heaven, but by the time they got there, it was shut because they had to go back and get something. They weren't prepared. We was not fully prepared. We had to go back. We've forgotten something. Like, we got our timing wrong. We missed the timing. That's why Jesus says, watch. You don't know the timing. The timing, you got to get the timing right. Timing. This is one of the issues that we have in life. We get our timing wrong. We put God on the back burner. I will deal with God later. Let me do this, 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 and this. And by the time we do all of those things, and it's time to get to the gate, we're like, we got the timing wrong. The timing was wrong. And there's rush, and there's panic. There's many people on their dying bed, and I'll say this as humbly as possible, but this is a fact that there's many on their dying bed. They realize, I got my timing wrong. I need God. And it's a bit of a panic, and it's called the priest, and it's like, help me out here, because I realize now I got my timing wrong. And so this is what I've learned, that we need to get our timing right and get our priorities straight. And I'm talking to myself, because those things that were important to me right there, you know, before we started running to the gate, they weren't actually important when I got to the gate. So it's going to be when we meet God, when we stand before the gates of heaven, nothing else is going to matter apart from getting through that gate. It's the only thing that's going to matter. And so I don't know who's going to watch this, but I just want to say this. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. There may be a time, and it may be today, where it's like you're just gonna have to let things go. Like the things that you want to take with you, the things that you're chasing after, the things that are important to you, you're just gonna have to let it go, because it's time to get to the gate. You know, in the airports, when it's getting late, they say on the loudspeaker, last call, warning, last call, the gate is shutting. And this is what God does many times. He sends out a warning, he sends out a call, last call, get to the gate now, it's closing, it's gonna close. And when we die, the gate's closed. Or when God comes back, the gate closes, and we don't know that time. And so many times God sends out warnings, get to the gate. And the gate, where is the gate? Where do we run to? Jesus says, I am the gate. He says, I am the way. I'm the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father, no one comes to God, but through me, through Him. Jesus is the way. He is the gate. You have to get to Jesus. That's the way to heaven. And many times you're going to have to drop things down to get to Jesus. It's the only way. He's the only way. Run to Jesus now before it's too late.